My philosophy is that worrying means you suffer twice.
I know it's bad, and I'm not even super enjoying it, but I can't stop because it's so sweet.
Be mindful of the living force, young Padawan.
Why am I still eating this up? But I definitely had like 5 slices, you know?
I know.
You can have a lot more enjoyment if you look for the good.
You gotta learn to love what's good for you.
Because even movies that don't work take a lot of work.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs the therapies.
one of the things you tease me about a lot is that I love movies even if they suck.
This is true. He loves movies. Doesn't matter what they are. If it's a movie, he loves it.
One of the reasons why I enjoy almost every movie I watch
Because shiny.
is because just like with people, I'm always looking for the good.
Yes.
And I generally find it.
Yeah, because even movies that don't work take a lot of work. There's great lines, there's wonderful production design. Sometimes there's lots of great stuff. It's just the movie as a whole doesn't work, but there's good pieces.
These are just our opinions. If you disagree with any of this and think this is a good movie, tell us why in the comments below, but let's have a respectful discussion.
That's my opinion!
Okay, first off, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The first one,
It's okay.
it's okay. And
okay.
listen, Newt Scamander is fantastic.
Great character.
And one of the reasons he's great is because of his outlook on life.
Right. If you just pop this on.
This series had so much potential.
It really did.
This character was great. This guy.
Tell me, has anyone ever believed you?
You told him not to worry.
Well, my philosophy is that worrying means you suffer twice.
Okay, though. Is that really a good lesson?
Yeah, no, I
explain
use,
this to me.
That's a moment when I was in a movie theater and I went, ooh, I just felt something shift in me like chiropractically in my brain. My brain cracked
Got a
when I
brain
heard
alignment.
that. I just got a brain alignment. I do think it's important to be concerned. Worry in the sense of, okay, there's something on the horizon I need to prepare for. Because I really believe the more prepared you are, the less afraid you are. But worry in the sense of hand-wringing and anxiety and what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. A lot of the time, the worst thing that you are anticipating doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And you just spent however long just losing it and uncomfortable and miserable, scared about what was going to happen. I think a little bit of trepidation is healthy. It causes us to prepare. But once we're prepared as best we can, at that point, you do everything you can. I like to say all you can do is all you can do.
Sure.
And that's all you can do. And if you've done all you can do, it's like, at this point, it's out of my hands, and worrying will not change anything.
Worry is just pre-guilt.
Ooh, you could be Newt Scamander.
No, because guilt serves a purpose and is useful until the purpose has been served and you like make good on whatever you did wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And
Then you got to release the guilt.
get rid of the guilt. Worry is the same way. It is worthwhile to, have trepidation, have a little bit of worry until you do everything that you can do before a thing happens. And then
Right.
okay, let go of the worry because what's going to happen is what's going to happen at this point.
Yeah, because full-blown, this looks like Hakuna Matata, and Hakuna Matata is only healthy if you have worried enough to prepare and do everything you can,
Or you live on a beach.
or if you live on a beach with a couple margaritas, a little Hawaiian shirt. Because if you go full Hakuna Matata and you don't worry, at a certain point you will worry because there will be consequences to not doing a damn thing.
What if you run out of grubs?
Slimy, yet satisfying.
Hey, have you ever thought, boy, I'd sure like to see Jono and Alan live in the same room as me and witness them melt down? Well, you can!
Come see us, Cinema Therapy, live, Pacific Northwest of the U.S., July 30th through August 1st.
Also Canada.
Are we what? We're not-
Vancouver.
we are going to Canada.
Vancouver's in Canada.
Hot damn! And then the next week, we're going to be in the Pacific Northwest.
Nope, the upper Midwest. Minneapolis, Milwaukee, and Chicago.
We're going to be talking about Will Smith.
Nope.
Will Turner and
Will Turner and
Elizabeth Swann.
We're not going to talk about Will Smith unless someone brings it up.
Will
Then we
Turner.
have some hot takes.
Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann from Pirates of the Caribbean doing a couples therapy episode. Live Q&A, VIP gets exclusive backstage access, tons of merch, but also just the energy of a live show, and our editors cannot save us. We're performing without an ad.
Yes, it will be upsetting.
Why don't you sit next to each other here? Link is in the description.
Link in the description, get tickets. There's dates and times. And venues.
That was about as good as could be expected. This Is Us.
We did it.
This next one is the rare film that is not good,
Okay.
but it is good for you. Patch Adams. Okay. I have a soft spot for Patch Adams. Some of you are going to rise to his defense, and I get it. Because Patch Adams is Robin Williams full of love and compassion and goodness.
Yep.
And it's really easy for that just to be enough. It's inspiring, and he's great.
Sure.
But it should tell you something that the actual namesake of the film hated the film. The actual Patch Adams hates the movie Patch Adams.
Yeah. It's schmaltzy and saccharine, and the plot doesn't necessarily work, and the characterization is weak.
Yeah.
But that's not a Robin Williams problem, that's a writing problem.
I love it even while I know it's bad.
Sure.
It's like eating marshmallow peeps. Like, I know it's bad, and I'm not even super enjoying it, but I can't stop because it's so sweet.
You and I have a very different response to Peeps.
But this is a genuinely great and beautiful scene, and it teaches us something very worthwhile. But the fact is, this is Robin Williams with real kids.
Yeah.
And even though it's for a movie, he's also just going in and, like, this is all real. He is giving them this joy by being Robin Williams. I'm not entirely convinced that that was the actual sound of him falling. That sounded a bit...
It was built up.
Honestly, with the straw, that's a pretty great... So, of course, the lesson here is readily apparent. People need joy. People need laughter. And the people who need it the most are often the ones who get it the least because others give up on them or don't want to be around them. Like, how many people don't like to be around the elderly because they've got elderly phobia? I did a similar thing in college. Completely... I can keep talking because you can see it.
Yeah.
Completely different end. It was with the elderly, and I didn't do a bunch of silly, weird stuff, but I would just go play cards or let them tell me their stories. I'd go to the rest home and just connection and fun and hope with people who didn't have long to live, and it brought me so much joy.
Robin Williams had a lot of hits. Mm-hmm. He had a lot of misses. Like, I don't know if there's an actor who had a more peaks and valleys career than Robin Williams, but he was never a miss.
Yeah.
Right? He was always great in everything he was in. And if you want to explore that a little bit more, we have a Robin Williams episode right here where we just kind of a tribute to the guy who raised us with his jokes.
But this is an example of, like, this movie is not good, but can you help but smile and feel the warm fuzzies?
I was trying not to. I was really trying to be a curmudgeon watching this. And I was kind of like,
it's funny.
he made himself a chicken.
And then you see the kids' faces, and it's beautiful. But this speaks to kind of my mentality, and one of the reasons why I think I'm halfway decent as a therapist. You see whatever you're looking for.
Sure.
And so with people, I am always looking for the good. I try and balance it with being aware of the red flags. You know, I don't just want to see the good and get hurt and used over and over, but seeing the good, then you can nourish that in people and help them chase more because a lot of people don't believe in their own goodness. And I carry that into film. You talk about realistic optimism. There's the optimism that's naive. And then there's the chosen Waymond from Everyone Loves Waymond. Sorry, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Also known as Everyone Loves Waymond.
Where optimism based in realism is strategic. This is how I combat the darkness. And I think you can look for the good in people. You can also look for the good in movies. I have enjoyed almost every movie I've seen. I didn't enjoy Joker Folie à Deux. I hated that movie, but only because it hated me first.
It hated you so much.
Let's give the people what they want.
So speaking of good scenes and great characters in absolute turd burgers of a franchise, we're going to talk about one of my favorite characters in film, Mustache Dad.
Yes, Mustache Dad!
This is from New Moon. He has to comfort Bella, who is the worst and having shrieking nightmares because a boy left her alone.
And yes, we know that in the books, they're actually night terrors based on her almost dying. But the movies
They're
don't give
not.
us... They're not?
No.
Everyone says that in the comments.
They're wrong.
Is it really just because Edward left?
Yes. Just wanted to give you that. So you can have some night terrors.
That is not the timestamp I gave you.
Oh, yes it is.
I thought this thing was starting to work, but I guess not. Can I ask you something? Hanging out with Jacob. That seems to take your mind off things a bit, doesn't it?
Maybe you should start sleeping with him. I mean, not sexually, just in the bed.
You gotta learn to love what's good for you.
He's a dog, though. You could have him curl up at the bottom.
Of course, what do I know? I'm just a terminal bachelor. Famous ladies' man. Okay. Go to bed. I love you.
Aw. All they needed to do cinematically was show her screaming and writhing in bed and have her replay being bitten and almost murdered.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's PTSD and it makes total sense.
Yeah, it makes it not stupid. That's not the Stephanie Myers way.
Oh my gosh.
So I might have been making stupid jokes over it, but you need to learn to love what's good for you. Is that the line
no,
we're looking at?
you paused long enough for him to say that.
Okay, good.
Well, he talks about hanging out with Jake seems to help. We know that Charlie would much rather Bella take interest romantically in Jake. And if that's what he's saying here, it's a little too strong. Like, you can't tell your daughter who to love. But
You can try.
But I don't think that's what Charlie's saying here. I think he's saying loving what's good for you, like spending time with Jake helps you to heal because he's a good influence. He cares about you.
Yeah.
And he's a good person. You got to learn to love what's good for you is great advice just overall in life. That has so many applications. Like, I sometimes think about that line when I have like vegetables in front of me, you know? And my inner child's like, no, I don't want to. I just want chicken nuggets. I want chicken nuggets and french fries.
You need fried food.
I habitually eat whatever I'm excited to eat last.
Yeah.
And I'll go through the salad and the vegetables and I'll be like, there, I did it.
Fine.
I did it. And then I eat what I want to eat. I tell my kids you have to give your body what it needs before you can give it what it wants. And I try and live by that just with a lot of things, like give my mind what it needs before it wants, give my time what it needs before it wants. This is what I tell myself. You got to learn to love what's good for you. So it's like opening my mail when it's mail I don't want to open, getting my taxes done, getting my house clean, because I know I'll love that it's done. Or I'll love the end result of it. I don't think it's a good idea to force yourself to love romantically or choose romantically a person that you think is good for you.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important to surround yourself with, okay, who are good people who could be my friends, whose company I enjoy, and are there people who I can let go of who maybe I enjoy their company, but they're not supportive for who I want to be. That's a great example of this. Next is the ultimate in seeing the good. I think there is so much good in the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh, for sure.
It just doesn't work on the whole. Bad with an asterisk.
Yeah.
But this is words to live by. This is, I love being fed by stories, and this fed me.
Gandalf had a good thing to say. Get out. Wisdom from a wizard?
I do not know. Saruman believes that it is only a great power that can hold evil in check. But that is not what I have found. I found it is the small things, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keeps the darkness at bay.
I miss Andrew Lesney. Look at how beautifully Gandalf is lit right now.
Why, Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. And it gives me courage.
He talks about the everyday acts of ordinary people, simple acts of kindness and love, and that's what keeps the darkness at bay.
Yep.
We're not the first to say this, but what you see on the news versus what is lived in your neighborhood or just with everyday people is two separate things. The biggest, most horrifying things are what get sprayed across the front pages, but someone just doing something kind for someone else. Here's an example. The other day I went to see Sheep Detectives. Had a great time, laughed a lot. Woman next to me, total stranger, at the end of the movie, she says, "Can I just tell you how delightful it was to sit next to you? You have such a pleasant laugh."
Oh,
It was the simplest thing.
that's so nice.
I've been thinking about that for days.
It's so in keeping with that movie, too.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just such a pleasant movie.
Yeah, but I thought, what a wonderful thing to turn to a stranger and pay them a compliment on something as simple as, you have a pleasant laugh.
Yeah.
Compare that to, I have so many instances in my life of just people saying, "Hey, can I help?" Or being that person. And this is what keeps the darkness at bay. This is what keeps all of our hopes alive, is the kindness that we show each other, the small things.
Yeah.
And this is, and that's not Tolkien. That was...
No, that was Peter and Fran and Philippa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad with an asterisk, but there's a lot of good there. Speaking of looking for the good, we like to think we're pretty good, and you can find us easier if you subscribe, click the bell, and set notifications to all, so every week you'll get a notification that we have a new video.
And go to your subscriptions page. Don't let the algorithm drive what you're doing. You can find a lot of great stuff there. Unless you have bad taste. Like, I don't know.
Whee! Bad taste!
Okay, so this is a movie that I feel like didn't work on nearly any level. Including maybe the worst score from John Williams.
Oof.
Which is to say, it's still very good.
It's still better than almost
It's
anybody.
still better than almost everything else. But big problems with The Rise of Skywalker. This is a very good scene in a movie that has so many problems. It just made me angry because it was like, you could have made a whole movie like that. And Jono's response to it was,
Diamond in the rough. That made the whole movie worthwhile.
wow!
I got those rings to hold me down, to make me straight, make me proud.
Because it's an excellent scene that teaches an excellent lesson.
Yeah.
I miss you, son. Son is dead.
No.
Kylo Ren is dead. My son is alive.
I believe in the best in you.
Yeah.
I won't give up on you.
You're just a memory.
Your memory. Come home.
It's too late. She's gone.
Your mother's gone. But what she stood for, what she fought for, that's not gone.
Actual words I live by when it comes to my mom's memory.
Ben,
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
See, it's symmetrical. Symmetrical.
It rhymes.
It rhymes. I failed words so hard just now.
You kind of did.
you do.
It's okay. It's like this movie. What you were trying to say was good. What you did say, kind of dumb.
And Adam Driver's acting the hell out of this.
They both are.
He goes, "Dad, look at how he..."
I know.
I love you, I know, but he never says it. It's just in his face.
It's so good.
Like, that's such a great callback to Empire. I love you, I know.
It's so good.
That it
This
made you
whole
mad.
scene is so damn good. And like the dialogue, honestly, kind of okay. Like it's not the best dialogue ever. There are a couple of lines where it feels at first glance, like you could look at it and be like, oh, that's just fan service, right?
Yeah.
But it makes so much sense for the characters in the moment to be saying those things and doing those things. And then you have Adam Driver, who has never given less than 150% in anything he's ever done.
Yeah.
Like that dude cannot not go hard.
Yeah.
Now keep driving, you black spear chucker piece of shit!
And then you have Harrison Ford, who we've all seen definitely give 12% in a performance. But when he came back to play Han Solo, he came back to play.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, maybe this is just director me, but I am watching these two actors and I can tell that they are having the time of their lives playing father and son.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell Harrison Ford is like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I got to raise my game because he is playing the hell out of Kylo Ren right now. Actually, Ben Solo. Watching the performance, you can just see these two feeding off each other. It's simply staged, but it is a brilliant scene.
Yeah.
It's so good that, again, makes me angry, makes him like the movie.
I was watching Rise of Skywalker and I'm like, why am I still eating this up? But I definitely had like 5 slices, you know, because pew, 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 boom, boom.
Well, damn it. There goes my whole argument. Pew, pew, boom, boom. You got me.
This next one, this is from The Phantom Menace. The beauty of this scene to me is people, especially as a parent, like kids go astray for all sorts of reasons. Some of them have to do with parenting. Some of them have to do with just the world around them, the other influences. In the case of Ben Solo, his father loved him, but wasn't always the best at showing it.
Right.
Right? And Snoke was able to whisper in his ear and turn, like, there's a lot of reasons why Ben turned. But a lot of good people, when they do things that they're ashamed of, they feel like, this is who I am now.
Yeah.
I'm garbage, so I might as well act like garbage. There's no turning back. And it takes someone to say, I've seen everything you've done, and I still love you, and I still believe in you, and I know you can find your way back to the light.
Right.
That is often what is necessary for people to believe it themselves. This is a role I feel as a parent, but also as a therapist.
Sure.
And I think the point of the film is you, the audience, every one of us can do this for somebody else.
Yeah.
2 pearls of wisdom here from Qui-Gon.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I don't sense anything.
It's not about the mission, Master. It's something elsewhere. Elusive.
Don't center on your anxieties, Obi-Wan. Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs.
But Master Yoda said I should be mindful of the future.
But not at the expense of the moment. Be mindful of the living force, young Padawan.
Yes, Master.
How am I supposed to be mindful of the living force?
Not that part.
Oh, okay.
No. Being mindful of the present. And Qui-Gon is literally talking about the therapeutic skill of mindfulness.
Sure.
Being centered here and now. And this is a subtle callback to what Yoda talks about in Empire Strikes Back when he talks about Luke.
Never his mind on where he was. What he was doing.
It's not just dreams about the future. It's anxieties about the future.
Well, I mean, he's sensing Palpatine.
Right. Which maybe he should pay attention to that.
Yeah, maybe Qui-Gon's an idiot.
No, listen, he's not.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Yoda says I should be mindful of the future. Yes, but not at the expense of the present.
Yes, that's true.
Because the present determines the future. Here and now, there's plenty to worry about. Here and now, there's plenty to deal with. Being mindful of the future and being prepared for the future is something that we all need to do, but it doesn't take top priority over the moment.
Okay.
I think of how many times early on as a parent, you know how it is, like, you're poor. If you're just starting a family, you're generally poor.
Yeah.
And you're really, really stressed about just making ends meet and making sure everyone's fed and you can have a place to stay.
Sure.
And that consumes almost everything. How many moments of connection I missed with my kids because I was like, not now, because I was so anxious about the future.
Yeah.
And of course, going too far the other way would be problematic. Let's just play and hope everything sorts itself out later.
That's what I did.
But the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, I do need to work on this tonight. I do need to do this, but I can give you a half an hour.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids, I'm like, I wish I could give you the whole night, but I can give you a half an hour. And during that half an hour, I will be fully present.
As a parent, you hear a lot of times like quantity is the only quality time.
Yeah.
And that's not true. There is such a thing as quality time. I know a lot of people, and I've been guilty of this in my own life, where, you know, there's a decent amount of quantity, but it's, oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I'm not even there.
Phantom Menace also has the fantastic line, your focus determines your reality.
Yes.
That is deep on so many levels. Like, the prequels, which, again, I love because pew pew, vroom vroom.
Hey, listen, you got me. It's got pew pew, vroom vroom.
No, I like your pizza analogy because I agree. I know when I'm having Star Wars that's not as good as it could be, but I'm also having Star Wars.
Yeah.
And you're somebody who's like, I demand the pizza to be good. Thank you. I know it can be better than this.
Yeah, listen, if you can make Empire Strikes Back, make Empire Strikes Back. Do it every time.
Do it every time.
How hard can that be?
But with movies and with people, you can have a lot more enjoyment and a lot more fulfillment if you look for the good. That doesn't mean you turn a blind eye to the red flags or to the things that need work. It just, because I have seen this in you. I was there for at least some of your film snob phase.
Yes.
And honestly, you're more enjoyable now. Because even when something's bad, you're like, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
You know?
I am less of a dick. I think that's what I want on my tombstone.
He was less of a dick than when he started.
Less of a dick than when he started.
And mine's going to say surprisingly competent. Remember that? Like, wow. Didn't see that coming.
Surprisingly competent. So until next time.
Pew pew. Vroom, 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 vroom. Like, wow! How could you not love it? Sir!
And,
and watch movies.
I don't even have anything to say. He just did all of Star Wars. Damn it.
Shout out and thank you to our patrons over on Patreon who get extended commercial-free director's cuts of all of our episodes before they drop on YouTube, as well as behind-the-scenes goodness for Alan's next film at Cinema Therapy Studios. Folks like
Jesse Padua,
Ben Sislowski,
Monica Antoine,
Lifeless,
and Kay.
Thanks, guys.